All right, on to the next page. So we're looking at percents and the three different uses. So it says to write a statistic or article title using percents for each use. So percents are used to show change. I'm making these numbers up, obviously, as you should do as well in this case. So I'm going to say Apple's stock rises 7% over the last month. Bam. Rises 7%. That means that it is increasing by 7%. That means it's showing change. Okay. Now, the second one, percents are used to show a fraction, part of a whole. So I could say, this might be a little high, but I'm ambitious and optimistic. 90% of the Math 201 students watch these videos. It's a fraction because there's some total amount of Math 201 students, right? And only part of them are watching these videos. And you could express that as a fraction, like, 9 out of 10, right? Or you could express it as a percentage, which I did here. The last one is usually the trickiest one for most people because it's really tied to number one. So a lot of people give me stuff like Apple's stock rises 7% here, when yes, that does show comparison, but the structure looks a little bit differently. This is where you're using 100 as the baseline, and anything that is more than is going to be more than 100. Anything that's less than would be less than 100. Sorry. So let's say that I am, well, highlight out of where? What? Okay. I am 120% the height of whoever, Jonah. This means that I am Jonah's height, which is 100%, but then 20% more. So this means that I am taller than Jonah. Another example I think that we went over in class was like the cost of an Audi costs 150% the cost of a Chevrolet or something like that, which means that I am more than Jonah. If I were to write this, I am 70% the height of Shaq. This means that I am shorter than Shaq, right? Because I'm not even 100% of his height. I'm just a fraction of his height. So this is using a percent to show comparison. Hopefully I still have some room here. Oh man, I cut off that next page. That grinds my gears a lot. Let's see if I can quickly fix it. If not, I'll have to go back and fix it after this video. Oh, I got it. Sweet. We'll see if it stays like that. All right, the next one. You start your own company, making selling shirts. Okay, how many shirts? So break-even point, right? Break-even point, it means how many items you have to sell to where you don't make money, but you don't lose money. Basically, your revenue equals your expenses. Let me highlight this. Okay, revenue is money you're making. Expenses are what you're spending. So we need to use this little structure of an equation to create our own. So revenue first. So looking back at the problem, what entails us making money? Well, when we sell the shirts, right? And we sell them for $20 each. So we know that this is crucial, but how do we account for each? Well, we don't know how many are being sold, so that's where a variable comes into play. Let's just call it 20x. So 20x means $20 per shirt. X is representing the number of shirts. Now, is there anything else that has to do with revenue here? Nope. So equals. Now let's look at the other side of the equation, expenses. Now expenses, well, it costs you money to make the shirt, $9.50 per shirt, right? So that's $9.50 per shirt, meaning we need X. So $9.50X. And then adding on to our expenses, because we do have more expenses, is that $200 on other expenses. That's probably like your electric, any kind of machinery you need to create these shirts or embroider them, whatever. All right, so plus 200. Now this is our equation. Now we just have to solve for x. So what you need to do first is you need to subtract 950x from both sides, because here you have x on both sides. You only want it to be on one. So if you were to get rid of this 950 by subtracting it and just move it over to the left side, then you would have x on the left side and then just a number, that 200 left on the right. So you should get 1150x equals 200. Now the last component is to divide both sides by 1150 to get x alone. If I hit enter, will I have enough space? Yeah. All right, so 200 divided by 1150. Now, I should have specified how to round, but I would accept anything from 17 to 18 here. You could even put 17.4 if you wanted to. Technically speaking, I know some of you would get at me if I put 17.4 here, because you're gonna be like, you can't sell 0.4 of a shirt and you need to sell 18. So I'm going to say this: x equals 17.4 would have to sell 18 shirts though. Okay. All right, next. This one's going to be pretty hard to show you. Let me think. I'm going to put you on pause while I think about this. All right, I decided I'm going to make a separate video for number 6, just because I don't have my table in front of me. I haven't figured out the best way to video record that yet. So I'm going to end it here, and then the next group of videos, I'll do one for 6 by itself, and then I will move on to the next page. All right.